Hello, good afternoon, and a happy Republic Day to all of you. I hope you're enjoying the holiday as well as have seen the parade in the morning. Some of us must have gone also to the flag hoisting ceremony, and so long live the Republic. So, today, I think the people in the stock market are very nervous, confused. Most of them have given up and they expect the budget to be horrible, and they're blaming it all on Nirmala Sitaraman. In my opinion and analysis, no budgets are budgets of the finance minister, it's more of the budget of the prime minister. Take any budget, the prime minister's vision is converted into the reality through the finance minister. So, however much a powerful finance minister one may be, finally the chief executive decides which way the economy for that year at least would go. And so, therefore, this budget is Modi's budget like any other. Now, if you see in the last 10 years, or today the 11th year, it's sorry to say that Modi's budgets have not been anything great, they have been incremental. Sometimes the situation has saved the government because the global situation was positive, and so we caught on to that positivity, and the markets did well, economy did well. Today, we are in a situation where the global markets are good, the global economy is slowly coming back to life, including Japan, and China is slowly, I think, China is doing their best to see their economy comes back on the rails. The only major economy in the world today which is slipping on the slope of economic prosperity is India. Whether we like it or not, it is India who has lost out to the other global economies. And I think the blame has to go fairly and squarely onto the government. Now, if you look at what the government commentators are talking about, what we call the guys who are very close to the top, and these are the guys who always praise the government, whichever government it is, whether it is Vajpayee's government, Manmohan Singh's government, or Modi's government, there are a coterie of people who will brook no opposition to the policies. So, whatever the powers that be, the coterie always says that the policy, the supreme leader always is right. For the first time in many years, in 11 years, we have seen the coterie now has turned against the supreme leader. Now, two of the more important people in the coterie are Surjit Bhalla, who was the chief economic advisor, who has been Modi's man in Washington. Now, he has written a very scathing article on the government. Then you have the biggest coterie member, that is our Mohandas Pai, who is now blaming the government. Till now, he blamed everybody, the state government, the municipality, the sweeper, and everybody excepting the government at the center. So now he is laying the blame squarely at the door of Mr. Modi. So now Mr. Modi, as a prime minister, for the first time in 11 years, has been, now a target of even his friends. The foes, the Congress, the AAP, the communists, the TMCs, they're always speaking negative about the budget or about the economic policies. This is the first time his friends have now started speaking negative the economic policies. Now it's for all to see. For instance, look at the way inflation is being controlled or not controlled, the way rupees movement is being controlled or not controlled. Look at the 10-year yields. India was supposed to be in the global bond index, which meant that yields should have come down. Yields have not come down. You look at corporate results, they have been more or less on the downside. You look at bank borrowing, you look at NPAs, you look at anything today in the system, people are overtaxed and they are calling it tax terrorism. So while Modi wanted to eliminate terrorism, here through the normal, the militant terrorism, he has brought in a terrorism as far as taxes are concerned. They are laying the blame on Nirmala Sitaraman till now. They have realized, and rightly so, that the policy is coming from Mr. Modi, who passes it through the PM and then reaches the finance minister. The finance minister is nothing except a person who is just reading the master's orders. Now, in such a case, this has to be a do or die budget. Generally, the media talks about this is the most important budget of the century and all. For the first time, I think, in the last 30 years, this budget is going to be a do or die budget for Mr. Modi. It is Mr. Modi's budget. Let's not have any argument, or let's not, sugarcoat it. If this budget does something for the economy first, we as stock market people are always looking as to, okay, we are long in this share. Will this share go up, or will this sector go up? Will index go up? Will Bank Nifty go up? That is the kind of discussion which we've had, and most people are nervous. They have given up on the markets. They feel terrible that they've been misled by the powers that be. When Mr. Modi said invest in public sector units, he said invest in LIC. All of them, people have lost about 30, 40, 50%, and they are not able to see an exit route. So they have now turned on him, and it is his cross to be borne. I mean, it is his responsibility to turn it around. It is very much possible. It's very much possible that he can turn it around. I strongly believe that he has the wherewithal to turn it around if he only decides. Now, whether Modi will decide on February 1st, we do not know. But I think some hints were given in his recent interview with the Zerodha founder, Mr. Kamath, where he said, I have still not taken the kind of risk I should be taking. The last time he took a risk, the economy got damaged severely. That was the demonetization, when he announced it without anybody knowing. And then, a lot of people, not a lot of the country is still suffering. They don't celebrate the anniversary of demonetization. They celebrate anniversaries of everything, because that was the biggest blot on Mr. Modi's economic agenda. Now, this time, he may still take a risk. He can take a risk because he's got a lot of money. Our taxes are there. He can use it. But whether he'll take it in a positive manner or he will destroy the economy like what he did in 2016 is for us to see. But let me give you some interesting insights as to what happened in the past. You see, okay, just this is do or die. And I don't know whether you're able to see it, because I am not able to see it here. 1 minute. Let me just see whether I am also able to see it. Yeah, I think. So what happened? This is a chart of where we are today. We are down 12.5% on the Nifty from a high which we saw in September 2024, 26,270 levels to we are now hitting 23,000 levels. Most people are talking of 22,500 coming in this week. So let's go back when the finance minister and the powers that be were under pressure. Now let's look at what happened in 1997. 1997, the United Democratic Front was in power. Devegowda was the prime minister. Finance Minister Chidambaram presented a budget in 1996. And so therefore, what happened was the market fell down 12%. But after Chidambaram's budget, it went up by 22%. That was a time the situation was that the government will fall down because of their economic policies. So that was 1997. For some reason, I'm not able to give you the other. Let me just try once again, because see, there's some problem in the computer. So I hope you're able to see it now in terms of. Okay, let me just share the screen again. Sorry on this technology, I'm challenged here. So that was in 1997 when Chidambaram presented his budget, down 12%. Nobody had any hopes, but after the budget, the market shot up to 22% in 5 days' time. 22%. We have another situation which was in 2021, recently, 3 years ago, between the first wave of COVID and the second wave. Market had fallen 8% before the budget, and because they were all cursing Nirmala Sitharaman, and they had thought that Nirmala Sitharaman will give a very bad budget. Actually, she did nothing, and the market took off by 13%. The first time was 22% in 1997 and 13% in 2021. Then the third such instance where there was they had given up hope on Modi's first term was in 2015 when the markets kept on falling from March of 2000. Soon after budget, they started falling, and it fell 25% till the next budget. And by that time, everybody had given up hope, But then the budget day, extraordinary selling by FIs was there. There was a selling climax, and from that day onwards, the market went up. The low that day was around 6,825, which we have not seen till today. Even during COVID, we saw only 7,500. So that was the first major budget from 2015 to 2016 when the global markets are all up. All global markets are up. Only Indian market is down. That time we were with the global market. They were just picking up in early 2016. We were down 25%, and then we took off. And in fact, that was in 1 month we went up 14%. So we have had situations where the situation is very bad for the government, and the government has taken some stance to see that the market, economy, everything has gone up. 1997, Chidambaram called a dream budget or called very rationalized taxes. In 2016, again, there were nothing great, but it was a time when the pessimism was very high. 2021, again, nothing great budget, but pessimism was high. Today, for the first time since 1997, not only is the pessimism high, the economy is doing poorly. So you need to do something which is extraordinary. An extraordinary risk on the positive side can be taken because there is enormous amount of tax money available with the government of India. If they fail to do that, then I expect the economy to go into a tailspin. The markets will follow the particular route, and then we will have nobody to blame. See, last time in last few months, we blamed on elections, we blamed on monsoon, we blamed on everything excepting policymakers. Today, I think the policymakers are being blamed, and rightfully so. They have the resources. I am hopeful, as I keep saying, I'm hopeful till the budget. I don't want to take a negative view. I think Mr. Modi, I'm not a supporter or an opposer of Mr. Modi. I'm not a bhakt. I'm just an economic commentator and a normal common man who goes about his life knowing that the politicians will look after themselves. This is the first time the ego of the Prime Minister has been affected. And if the Prime Minister's ego has been affected, generally ego of any supreme leader gets affected, he will react in a significant manner. I expect Mr. Modi to react in a positive manner, and it's quite likely that things which we do not expect in terms of positive numbers here or positive direction, we may get it only because they have the money. Now, do they have the vision? Do they have the courage? That we will know by next Saturday. In my next weekend video, we will discuss about that. Thank you for joining me. Whatever you do, I hope it is successful.